My last stay at the hospital, I met a nurse that was unreal dark. Think Misery by Stephen King, or uh, like The Evil Nurse, right? And I'm thinking more like a cartoon character. It blew me away. It was wild. It was like I drifted into another dimension and met pure evil almost, right? Got to be almost, because there's no absolutes. We all know that. But this woman was damn close to absolute evil in my mind. So she came like a like I said, like a cartoon, and I was whisked away to almost the, like, in a meadow with October grass overgrown, and her standing there like in a cartoon movie. She had dark pants, like black. I think they were black. They're probably so blue they were black, I guess. I don't know. And they were just a little too big for her, seeing baggy kind of, but they were dress material instead of nurse material. They were like a silky black almost, and the bottoms were like 3 inches long, and they were a little torn at the bottom, one slit up at least, and her shoes were battle worn leather kind of look, with the round toe, and she didn't have the sporty sneakers like the other nurses, I'll tell you that. Her blouse was another dark blue that was kind of dingy, and it was just a dark colors, and now it says, I saw afterwards signs where it says you have to be from the elbow down, you can't have any clothing when you're helping patients and things, but it feels like it was longer. So her top was, I don't know how to explain it, kind of blowing in the wind. She's standing there in a field, meadow, and behind her is like a willow tree feeling, if you get my drift, that it's like October, almost Halloweenish, That's what it brought me to for a feeling, actually. Like witchy almost, but an evil nurse witch kind of combination. If you could imagine, her mask was a dark colored mask. And nowadays people are wearing the light blue stuff, but it was like a darker blue, and it covered all the way up to her eyes and her whole chin and everything. So, and her hair, her top thing over her hair was down low too, covering her hair. So she really had was those eyes, and they were dark brown, kind of, whoa, almost blacky, almost black eyes. And it's starting to get to me, because I actually am getting thrown back to that feeling I had when I first saw her. So forgive me, because it just almost brought me to the brink of emotion. So it's like like a fog coming off of her head and slowly falling over her shoulders, and as it's going down over her body, in the shape of her body, this fog gets a little darker, like darker and denser, and lays on the ground and flows through that grass towards the willow tree, like a stream almost, and the wind kind of just barely moving and rippling her too loose blouse. I'm back in. No, we're in a hospital room, really. And I just got there after having surgery, having my toe cut off. So, I'm a little bit out there, if you get my drift. I'm really not firmly gripped. I just got out of surgery and stuff, so maybe the anesthesia left over or something might add something to it. I don't know, but it was really wild. She says, call me if you need to, press the button, because there's a bed alarm on and it'll go off, and so don't just get out of bed on your own. But I had just got off the gurney myself and walked over to the bed myself. I wasn't going to get help or anything, and I felt fine. Maybe not at that point, but at the next point, but whatever. I knew I was fine to walk around. And we had a little discussion. I understand, and I told her how I am about things like that, and you can't chain me down. This isn't a prison. Now, I knew I was going to Three West, and I had that one day's experience before, so I felt I knew that Three West, there was something there, kind of evil. I kind of knew it from a distance. If you'll have it, I went. So when I got there, I had already known that if I have any kind of a evil thing or a bad person kind of thing going on, that because I get that way, I get upset with that kind of thing. I only because I react to it. I can't help it. Well, sure enough, there was, and I had her right off the bat. Excuse me. Had to be the anesthesia that made me see her like that. And she says, about being locked down, and I explained to her, and I said, you can't lock me up, I got to be able to go to the bathroom. This isn't third grade. I can take care of myself, and I don't like any help, and I don't even think I'll call you for a soda. Okay? And it's kind of like this. Oh, and she was all so sweet, buttery sweeteners. Oh, everything will be all right, Carrie. I'll leave the alarm off. And I laid down, and of course, instantly, I kind of went out for a little while, so it was a few minutes there. In comes the lady telling me that I gave this woman a hard time. Can't give my girls a hard time like that. No, you actually said something to her. Now, bear in mind the way I see things. If there's no threat involved, there's no elevated voice. I'm just talking to her, explaining things, okay? The way I see them. She went and got me in trouble with this lady, as far as I'm concerned. And I looked at that. I said, oh, so you're a cop. She's looking at me the other. Okay, I don't like cops. Well, actually, I'm a big backer of the blue, but I'm saying to her, that ain't right. You went and ratted on me and blah, blah. Well, actually, she wasn't even there at that point. I was telling this lady, I know which nurse that was, when then she comes through the door kind of deal. And I'm trying to remember it too accurately, but that's okay. I'm going to edit later, probably. She, So we kind of had it out a little bit, and I'm starting to get hyped up because I have a little thing there that's called freedom within me, and I jump out of the bed and I walk over to the door gently on kind of skip walk kind of thing, and I get out the door, and there's 5 or 6 nurses and people in that out there listening on what's going on because it's starting to get a little... This lady, I'm like, you can't stop me, or something like that. And she's like, you'd be surprised. Whoa. I said, did you just threaten me? And you can almost hear the gasp in the room, in the pod now, because they're gathered around the nurses station, and I'm at a door that's facing that nurses station because they all do from that pod, so they can see right. It's all laid out. It's a modern hospital. And I told her, I said, last time I was here, I said, almost those exact same words did I say to another nurse. And she accused me of abusing or threatening or something like that. I said, so, I think you just threatened me. Well, kind of like, what do you think of that? Looking for a reply kind of thing. And she didn't have much to say. It was quiet. And I said, you really think that I can't walk? I'm a grown man. And foolish me, got up on one leg. I got my leg up in the air with the toe cut off. And I'm bouncing up and down on one leg, kind of doing a jig and a dance, like I do. And I'm doing the jig, and I go right around in a circle, and I stop, and I look at all those people, and I said, do you really think I can't walk? No. And it's wide-eyed, and nobody knows what to say or anything like that, and I said, what did I say? I said, so go ahead. I said, you're not pinning me to the bed. I said, I'm going to do whatever I want. If you need to throw me out of here, do it now. And I wasn't threatening anyone and I wasn't loud. And I said, you want me to leave? Just ask me to leave. But you're not putting an alarm on my bed. End of story. I'm a free man. This is not a prison. I have wings. I fly. Get my drift? So they didn't put the alarm on my bed. And that dark nurse is, as I'm going back in my room, she's out in the hall now. So I see her against this backdrop of all these modern, almost flowery, they don't really wear the flower blouses anymore, but they're nice blues and pinks and whites and pants that are nice form fitting yet not overly sexy, with a couple extra pockets strategically placed. Forgive my new teeth. Strategically placed so that, they kind of look a little cargo-ish, so I think to take a little of the sex out of it for the environment, but yet still letting a woman dress nicely. After all, a woman wants to be thought of as beautiful. That's not a terrible thing. So anyway, her, and I had that little flashback of the fog and the willow tree and the her too loose dark blue, possibly blood-stained. And I could see her juxtaposed to all those young new people and nurses and beautiful and beauty and art everywhere on the people in forms of tattoos, earrings, the way they do their hair. Everything was kind of stylish and artistic behind her, and she's standing in front of them, the most evil-looking nurse I've ever seen in my life. And I nailed her. Because everyone knew she threatened me. They knew she threatened me. I didn't see her again for my whole stay.